Hello and welcome to yet another episode of What to Pick. In this video series I go over a few starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And we start off today's video with a choice between Helion and UNMI. And let's go with Helion for now. I really like this corp at the moment. Okay, and we get two really good preludes for Helion. Great terraforming preludes anyways, and for Helion of course it's amazing. With this we already, I think this is actually the combination that I said in my best preludes for every corp video is the best for Helion, because you end up with 8 heat prod and the ocean, which we're playing on Tharsis, so you can pick up either 2 cards, 2 titanium or 2 plants if you want to go down the plant route. So that's amazing. So let's go with these two for now. And we have some plant prod here with moss. I like that. We have already 1 ocean. We have mangrove, really good, because we push the heat track like crazy with Helion. And okay, the rest of the hand isn't fitting our style of play here that much, but I mean Mining Rights Acquired Company are really good early game production cards. I would definitely pick those two up. And birds is just one of the 2 best 1-point animals in the game. I would almost every time pick this up. I mean, the oxygen track will lag behind the heat track in this game, I think, because we're Helion with 8 heat prod. But nonetheless, I really like this card and I would definitely pick it up. Fish would have been better in this situation, of course, but if we get something like large convoy or imported nitrogen or whatever, we would still love to have that card. So I will definitely pick that up. Also, we don't have that much to pick up here, so I think it doesn't really hurt to pick it up. We can also think about small animals. Small animals is also a really good animal card. 2-point animals are not, or half-point animals rather, are not that great because they don't combo so well with large convoy, imported nitrogen, and so on. But it goes down really early and it hits someone's plant prod for 1, which is really useful. So I would pick that up as well. We start off with 42 cash. And we only want to play these 2 cards in the early game. 42 minus 18 is 24. So we have enough cash to play these 2 cards in the first gen. So I think we can pick up all of these cards. And yeah, I don't really see a line for UNMI here. I mean, we have Polar Industries, which gives us a bump in the first gen. And then if we also pick up Mohole, we will have 8 heat in the second gen and get a bump again. But after that, we just have 5 heat prod. I'd probably pick up these 4 cards here. Then we have 18. This costs 19. So we can pick up 1 more. In that case, I would probably pick up birds, I guess. But I think Helion is just much better in this situation. 8 heat prod is just insane. And you have a little bit more cash, I think. So I'd go with this. I think this is a really good start for Helion, and let's get to the next hand. Alright, the second hand is a choice between Cheung Mars and Tharsis Republic. I think generally Cheung Mars is better, so let's go with that for now. We have some really good preludes here. We're on Tharsis again. So Great Aquifer is pretty nice. It's definitely best on Tharsis. It's not that great on Hellas and Elysium. Business Empire is really strong, of course. 6 money prod, just insane. Huge asteroid, also quite good. If you can combo that with some heat prod, you get 1 heat prod from that. But I think I'd go with Business Empire and Great Aquifer for now. Okay, and we don't have any cities. Doesn't really look like a ground game to me. I mean, there's really nothing here that screams ground game to me. I mean, what you could do with Tharsis, definitely, is pick up Tharsis, of course, Great Aquifer, you could think about biofuels if you want to. In this case, because it gives you 2 plants. But let's stick with Business Empire for now. Great Aquifer, Business Empire. And then you pick up Restricted Area as well. And you do the following. You put the 2 oceans down here, then Restricted Area on this spot. We're in 2nd place, so it's a bit risky if someone wants to place a tile down. They could definitely choose this spot immediately, but then you can just pivot to this spot with Restricted Area. Just grab 4 plants with a Great Aquifer and another 2 plants with Restricted Area, and then 2 plants with your city that you get for free. And suddenly you have 8 plants to convert. Only problem is that's 2 actions, and then you can't immediately convert. So maybe you could really go Great Aquifer Biofuels, because then you start off with 6 plants and you just have to place your city down here and can immediately convert. That would be safer, because then you don't run the risk that this player plays like Demos or GIA turn 1 and just crushes all your plants. But then you have biofuels, and that's just not such a great prelude, especially because we don't really have a use for the power. We don't have a 2nd power, so we can't play strip mine. Shuttles is a bit off, and we don't have plant prod to follow it up. But if you want to go down that route, I'd probably pick up Big Asteroid for sure, a really good card. Still pick up Restricted. I'd probably pick up Lagrange just for the 2nd science tag. Mangrove is a really good card. I'd stick with that, especially if you're playing round game. You probably will have a city later down the line next to an ocean, and you can place Mangrove next to it, and then it's either 3 or 4 points if the oxygen track isn't maxed out yet. That would probably be it, actually. Just these 4 cards. Again, if you go with biofuels, you can think about picking up Strip Mine and hope for another power prod next gen, but I would definitely not do standard project into Strip Mine, because Strip Mine is so expensive. You don't have any steel to use on Strip Mine, and I think Strip Mine is just a bit overrated. The 2 power prod is expensive, and the 25 cash is expensive. If we had 1 more power prod on hand, one cheap power prod on hand, then I'd go Strip Mine here, I guess. But that would be my line for Tharsis. I think it would be a good line. With Cheung, I'd just skip biofuels. I'd go with Business Empire and Great Aquifer. I'd probably pick up cards and titanium instead of plants. I guess you could also convert with Cheung Mars and just do biofuels, Great Aquifer, and Restricted Area for the 8 plants. And that's an immediate conversion also, because you get the 6 plants from the preludes and then 2 plants from Restricted Area. But you have to decide what is more important for you, 2 carbon, 2 titanium, or 2 steel, or the greenery. Greenery is definitely really valuable. With Cheung Mars, I'd probably pick up SF Memorial just because it's a bit cheaper and you draw another card. You could think about going for Planner with Cheung. And in that case, I would probably pick up a few more cards here. I'd go for Planner if I pick up these 2 cards here and decide against the greenery. Definitely Mangrove as well, Lagrange for sure, Restricted. And if we do a Planner play, then maybe also Strip Mine, think about that. But yeah, if we don't pick up biofuels, maybe not. And that would probably be it for that. Pick up 2 cards from Great Aquifer, then you're at 8 cards. And you can slow play this a bit. There's not, I mean, you can play Restricted Area Gen 1, pick up another card with it, and then draw 1 from the action. And slow play it a bit because you don't have amazing development cards on hand to start off with. And just go for Planner. That would be another line, definitely. And you have some cash prod to finance all of these cards. So I think this would also be a good line. And let's just look at the last hand. Alright, and the last hand is a decision between Phobolog and Saturn Systems. Both pretty similar corps that will go for a space strategy. Saturn Systems, I think, is just a bit more flexible, has more starting cash, has better economy to start off with. Let's go with that for now. Nitrogen shipment and smelting plant don't really fit into the strategy we're going to want to go for with Saturn Systems. But Business Empire and UNMI contractors are really, really strong preludes. I'd probably pick those up. Okay, and we have a really good starting hand, I think. Space Hotels immediately is playable with these two preludes, which is really good. You end up with so much development after Gen 1. And you also have asteroid mining with Saturn Systems. That's great, for sure. Definitely pick up investment loan. Just gives you a bit more flexibility. Sacrifice is a really good card. Gives you great development in the early game. Really, really cheap. And that in microbe tech can be pretty useful for something like worms or especially advanced ecosystems. I think Electro Catapult is a bit of a bait here. We don't have easy power prod. I mean, we have space mirrors, but we don't have plant prod or steel prod to sell, and we don't have steel to play this card. That would be a good card if we went for smelting plant, but we definitely won't go for smelting plant. And because Business Empire plus UNMI contractor, no matter what corp we pick, is really good for space hotels. We want to get that going. Also, we play on Hellas here. So Rim Settlers in the game. That's another reason I probably want to go for Saturn Systems here instead of Phobolog. I mean, Phobolog has more starting capital and probably is able to play asteroid mining plus space hotels Gen 1, and Saturn Systems won't be able to do that. But I think it's not the end of the world to delay one of those two cards for one gen. So let's go for Saturn Systems for now and see how we can make that work. If we go for Business Empire and UNMI Contractor, we end up with 36 cash to spend in Gen 1. If we pick up the bare minimum here, which would be probably these 4 cards. What did I say? 36. So we end up with 24 cash. That's enough to play space hotels. We end up with 5, 11, 14, 17 prod, I think. And that's way more than enough to play asteroid mining in the second gen. So I think we could even pick up more cards here. You can think about Media Archives as most of the time a really good card in a last gen. But if you don't want to go for that, it's understandable if you want to save your cash in the first gen. Power supplies consortium, I don't see here. We don't have any tags for that. If we don't pick up space mirrors, but if we pick up space mirrors, then this is a bit redundant. Immigrant City can be useful. If we want to pick up cards, we could maybe pick up Space Mirrors plus Immigrant City, because we will be able to play this, at least the initial card, for free, and then it just gives you good flexibility to get power whenever you want to. And Immigrant City is just a really great city card, either to get down here and claim the ocean, or just annoy someone, place that next to his greeneries, or if we want to pivot into a greenery plant strategy, then we have a cheap city on hand. So we could pick up these two. I don't really know about livestock. It's a 1-point animal, and I always advise to go for 1-point animals. But the rest of the hand, I mean, we have Psychophiles, so that makes plant prod cards cheaper. You could also think about livestock. 36 minus 21, that's 15. We would still have enough for space hotels, but that's probably the maximum amount of cards I would pick up here. What we really want to see in the next drafts is another Jovian tag, to have a third one for Rim Settler, because that's probably the only milestone we're realistically fighting over here. Diversifier is another idea. We have Jovian tag on Saturn Systems, that's one tag. We have a space tag, that's 2. We have an earth tag, that's 3. But we only have earth tags on the preludes. If we play space mirrors, we have 4. That's basically it. 5 for psychophiles. Okay, we're kind of competitive on diversifier. But we really want to see another Jovian tag to finalize that rim settler. If we go for Phobolog here, still pick up the same 2 preludes. We have a 40, 63 cash minus 6 is 57. If we pick up the bare minimum, which is those 4 cards, 57 minus 12 is 45, which is enough to play Space Hotels and Asteroid Mining, and you could pick up 1 more card. In that case, I would probably pick up Immigrant City, maybe. It's not that great if we don't pick up Space Mirrors and have the power prod for it, but it's not a card that we want to rush out, so we have time to pick up some more power prod in another draft. And if we go for these 5 cards, we can play Asteroid Mining and Space Hotels in the first gen, and then we just have so much prod. The problem is we don't have card draw, and what do we do with all of this prod? And we can't play Sacrifice in that case, so we could even skip on Immigrant City and play Sacrifice as well. In that case, what we would like to see in the next draft would be card draw. Something like Restricted Area, even Death Center. I would even be willing to just buy the power prod to fuel up Death Center. Something like Inventor's Guild. Like some card draw would be really nice for the starting hand. But we're really low on cards with the start if we want to play both of these. And if we don't want to play both of these and pick up more cards, then I'd rather go with Saturn systems. And I think that's a stronger line because of the milestone. But yeah, that's basically it. I think this is a really strong hand for Saturn systems, and I think this was a fun video. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and definitely let me know in the comments what you would have decided differently in these starting hands. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and follow me on Twitch. And I guess I'll see you in the next video.